Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a wall of water sweeps through the Texas Hill Country. How 9 inches of rain in just hours turned deadly, with many still trapped and young campers missing.
And how local food banks might be impacted by the new spending bill.
Plus, emergency managers monitor rising Guadalupe River levels after the Kerr County flooding. How Canyon Lake could protect the crossroads.
And we're going to be talking about this vortex of moisture that had moved there into the hill country coming up in the weather.
In the spirit of 4th of July, the Victoria Gators team invited everyone to buy fireworks for a bigger cause. We'll tell you more later in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Happy 4th of July to everyone. I'm Shauna Curry.
And I'm Trenton Whiting, in for Don Brubaker. Severe storms are slamming parts of central and west Texas, bringing heavy rain, dangerous flooding, and emergency rescues. In Kerrville, officials say the Guadalupe River has overflowed, causing life-threatening flooding and triggering multiple hot water rescues. At least 13 people are confirmed dead, and more than 20 young campers are unaccounted for from Camp Mystic. Police and fire crews have been working nonstop to get people to safety, and some areas have seen 9 inches of rain or more since Thursday night, prompting flash flood emergencies. The storms are also impacting San Angelo and parts of Tom Green County, where low-lying roads and neighborhoods are underwater. Officials are urging people to stay off the roads and never drive through flooded areas.
We are currently still actively rescuing, so we are not quite into recovery mode yet. We are still actively trying to find those that are out and those that are needing assistance.
Rescue efforts are ongoing, and residents are urged to stay put and avoid flooded areas. Governor Abbott says the state is sending more help.
For those who live in that impacted area, they're waiting for the water to recede in order to really find out the extent of, of damage and everything that's been going on over the last couple hours.
Absolutely. And 25 News Now weekend anchor Amaya Norman actually spoke to a former Victoria couple who rode out this storm. And she joins us now to talk about their experience. So Amaya, what did you learn?
Yes, Trenton and Shauna. Laura and Randy Pollard moved from Victoria to the hill country town of Hunt a few years ago. The overnight rainfall transformed their beautiful view from their front yard. Now they're seeing flooded roads, emergency officials, and debris scattered around. The couple spent the day without electricity. The Pollards described a terrifying scene as the water rose rapidly with little warning. Entire roads were submerged. Some homes were even overtaken, and families were left scrambling for safety.
And it was raining and lightning like crazy. And we looked at the radar, and it was just a big orange and red right over us.
It had begun raining a little north and west of us, is what we've been able to piece together. And all that hit the Guadalupe River watershed and came down as just a wall of water. And within 3 hours, the Guadalupe River rose 22 feet.
Residents are being told to stay put and not travel into flooded areas, which is what the Pollards are doing. We'll hear more from the Pollards and their experience weathering the storm coming up tonight on 10. Shauna and Don, back to you.
Yes, well, I mean, there was a lot of rain, obviously very dangerous for those people in the hill country, excuse me, and very unexpected rain as well.
Yeah, they were expecting a little bit of rain, but to explain kind of how all of this transpired and how this all happened, we go to meteorologist Jacob Lozano. Jacob?
Yes, Shauna. So yesterday we were looking at the little trough that was there in the mid-levels, about 3.5 miles up, and the winds obviously were coming just about this. That's kind of how the trough formed, but it became a cutoff low with the mesoscale convective system. So there's that line of thunderstorms and began to wrap around, and there wasn't really much to really push it out of the way. So it actually just stuck there for quite some time. And let's just say the rainfall totals were astonishing, close to a foot to even a foot over a foot of rain there around Kerrville. And well, we're looking at shower activity here for us right now, but there is still a flood warning and a potential for some more flooding with rain chances still lingering for tomorrow up in Kerrville, but we'll be talking about that coming up. Shauna?
While the destructive floods in Kerr County have raised levels along the Guadalupe River, the crossroads may not be affected. That's according to the Victoria County Office of Emergency Management. They expect much of the water from the Guadalupe River to be held in Canyon Lake without need to release water further downstream. The office says that will help reduce any immediate impact in our region, but they will continue to speak with the Canyon Lake Dam officials and the West Gulf River Forecast Center to monitor the situation.
But we'll be monitoring the situation for the next 8, 12, 24 hours and seeing what that brings to the Victoria residents. The Canyon Reservoir was specifically installed for a flood control measure. And so at this time, unless we receive ample amounts of rain below the reservoir, which would be New Braunfels to us, Victoria, at this time, we don't really see that there's going to be major impacts.
Flooding is also being seen up in the hill country along other rivers like the Medina River and the San Saba River. Well, the DAV Auxiliary is hosting its 7th annual Veterans Picnic this 4th of July. It is taking place and it just wrapped up here at 6 o'clock at the VFW Hall on Lova Drive. Senior Vice Commander Janet Nelson was encouraging everyone to come out and to celebrate our veterans. She says the event is to serve the veterans and wants them to know that their service does not go unnoticed.
It is very heartwarming that we're able to put this event on every year.
Nelson again encourages everyone to recognize our veterans on this
Absolutely.
4th of July and the sacrifices that they've made for the country.
Absolutely.
So this brings us to our viewer poll. What is your favorite part of Independence Day? Is it the fireworks that will be going off later this evening once the sun goes down? Is it the food? They had some chicken
nice.
and potato salad there at the picnic. Is it the time off if you have the day off work, or is it the patriotism, all of the red, white, and blue, the flags, and all of that? So over half of you, 57%, say it is the patriotism, the being proud to be in America and seeing all the red, white, and blue. But continue voting. Go to crossroadstoday.com/vote to let us know. We'll have another look at the numbers on 25 News now at 10. Well, it was a busy 4th of July holiday for President Trump as he celebrates both America's birthday and the passing of his so-called Big Beautiful Bill.
Brian Abel gives us the rundown from the White House.
This is certainly a working holiday for the president. He started the day here with a call with the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky after a Thursday call with the Russian President Vladimir Putin, which Trump said left him disappointed. The Zelensky call was characterized as very important and meaningful by the Ukrainian president's chief of staff. Zelensky later adding that the two leaders discussed air defense and defense production during the call. Then the president headed out for an off-the-schedule trip Friday morning to do his favorite leisure activity, golf, at his club in Virginia. Back at the White House, preparations have been underway for a big annual event on the South Lawn, a 4th of July picnic with military families. This year, however, is abnormal. That's because the president is also celebrating his big political win, the passing of his massive domestic policy bill, the so-called Big Beautiful Bill. Trump is expected to sign the legislation into law this evening at the White House, timed with a military flyover, including the B-2 bombers who carried out the recent military strikes in Iran, according to a White House official. Then tonight, 4th of July fireworks in our nation's capital. The president and first lady will view them from the South Lawn before they both head to Bedminster, New Jersey for the weekend. But Trump has indicated his work will continue into the weekend. On Friday, Trump said he will begin sending tariff notices to different countries, letting them know what their tariff rates will be. And the president said that most of those will be effective as of August 1st. The president is also expecting news on the Israel-Hamas front. He said early Friday he expects to know if Hamas will accept a ceasefire proposal in, quote, the next 24 hours. At the White House, Brian Abel reporting.
Now, with the passage of the Big Beautiful Bill, there could be some unintended effects for area food banks. Robin Cadle, president of the Food Bank of the Golden Crescent, says that the proposed cuts to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, commonly known as SNAP, will present a significant burden to an already stressed operation. Cadle says that SNAP will see cuts total $186 billion over the next decade, greatly limiting food options for many individuals.
These individuals that are on this programs will now have to figure out where they're going to get their food. That means they're going to come to the food banks, the food pantries. So it's going to heavy burden our lines that are already long. So we're hoping that we can still meet the need.
Cadle says that the food bank serves close to 40,000 people per year. She estimates that number rose to nearly 47,000 by the end of this year. Now, after 3 sessions, Texas lawmakers passed a bill last month that defines consent and fixes what advocates called a loophole in Texas sexual assault laws. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit crossroadstoday.com.
And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 6, a surprising shift in tech trade policy, what a new deal means for chip software, and critical minerals between the U.S. and China.
Plus, a new initiative takes shape in Washington. What's in the plan to rework how public land is used? Coming up.
Here's a look at what you can expect on Community Crossroads. Meet a local military hero, Gary Moses night at the ballpark, and vintage planes will take over the Refugio Airport.
And it's going to bring a lot more people in than just the counties that we live in. So that's what it's mostly for. We're trying to bring everybody together and kind of just celebrate this fun event that's going to be free for all.
Welcome back. The U.S. has lifted its chip restrictions against China. The three leading chip design software companies say they were notified by the Commerce Department that the export curbs introduced in May had been rescinded. This announcement comes after a new trade agreement was finalized last week in London. Under the deal, the U.S. agreed to lift export curbs on chip software, while China would approve the exports of rare earth minerals to the U.S. Now, from increased border patrols to drug detecting dogs and drones.
Those are just some of the enhanced programs securing Canada's border with the United States. Paula Newton reports.
We are at the Peace Bridge on the world's longest international border, more than 5,500 miles separating Canada and the U.S. by land and water. Here on the Niagara River between Fort Erie, Ontario and Buffalo, New York, joint patrols. Canadian and American law enforcement on the water, keeping an eye on both sides of the border.
And that is the U.S. Coast Guard ship. Now, the joint patrols between Canada and the United States, that's not new. What is new is the approach on the Canadian side of the border.
Since the new U.S. administration came into power, we have had a paradigm shift here in Canada in terms of our law enforcement posture. There's no question.
Canada is putting its money where its border is, $1 billion more, launching drones.
So it opens up a whole new world to us as far as detecting criminality.
Adding more radar and thermal imaging.
And what it's able to do is pick up heat signature.
A more robust presence everywhere. Why now? Call it the Trump effect.
The fentanyl coming through Canada is massive.
And so President Trump imposed punishing tariffs, even though U.S. data show less than 1% of fentanyl seized at the U.S. border comes from Canada. But Canada's own intelligence shows organized crime, including gangs from Mexico, are producing more fentanyl and other drugs in Canada for export to the United States and elsewhere, also expanding their footprint to launder money as well. Was the president onto something here?
The president and our government, I think it's safe to say, have agreed that we can do more collectively to secure the border, and we have. regular members out to the border in uniform, on patrol, which is something, say, a year ago, we weren't doing.
Do you worry about what you don't find and seize?
Yeah, that's always a concern. And that's really where it comes down to working closely with our law enforcement partners.
From fentanyl to firearms, the Canada Border Services Agency says the president's scrutiny has led to more resources and intelligence sharing on all kinds of smuggling.
Check low, low, low. Got a girl, good job!
Canines like Quanta now trained to sniff out everything from drugs to guns. While the world's longest border may still be undefended, on Trump's urging and threats, it is now better protected. Paula Newton, CNN, Fort Erie, Ontario.
President Trump signed an executive order on Thursday establishing the Make America Beautiful Again Commission. According to the order, the commission will expand access to public land for recreation, hunting, and fishing. The White House says the goal is to reduce bureaucratic delays that hinder effective environmental management and encourage sustainable land use. Secretary of the Interior Doug Burgum will chair the commission. It will also include Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins, and others from the Trump administration.
Well, we've got some major river flow up north there, 46,900 cubic feet per second. That's close to 3 million pounds being pushed down the river. But we'll be talking about the rain coming up. Still looking at shower activity here up north, as well as more shower activity going on here in the crossroads. You see light showers and moderate showers beginning to pop up here from all the remnants of that moisture up north within that low pressure system. And that's really bringing up our shower activity, especially along the Texas coastline. So we're going to continue to see shower activity through the night. However, there is an excessive rainfall slight risk, to be specific, there up north, right around the hill country, just where they saw close to about almost a foot of rain there. And so that's for tomorrow. So if you have any plans heading up there, do expect possibly some more flooding going along with that, as we are watching another system begin to form over there. Now, light showers are what we're going to continue to see here through the nighttime. Some spotty 20 to 30% showers. Mostly of that it's going to stay along the Texas coastline, but still can't rule out those possible little shower activities, as well as seeing it in the morning time. But there is that little thunderstorm that's what we're going to be watching there begin to pop up there north again, right around Kerrville and upper San Antonio area. For us, so we're going to continue to see the light shower activity and mostly cloudy skies for us. And then we start to see a bit of a shower thunderstorm begin to drop down there towards I-10, which could drop a little bit of some heavy rain for us there around Cuero. So they'll see more of that shower activity, but we're still going to remain 20 to 30% for tomorrow here in Victoria, as well as some sunshine that will be starting to come out here as we head on later through the week. But we're still going to be talking about those little pop-up showers here coming in through Sunday as well. Now, if we take a look here in the winds levels at about 38.5 miles up in the air, there's that low right there, and that's going to be lingering around here for Saturday, dissipating. We're going to see more shower activity, though, pop up out from the Gulf with this mid-level low. It's going to be pushing its way towards the Texas coastline, as well as this high pressure right around El Paso beginning to shift up. So we're going to see this little area right here start to pick up some shower activity here as we start to see a bit of a line there within the winds, giving us another good shot of some rain here for the Victoria and Crossroads region here. Now, if we look here specifically on Tuesday, that's going to be the best time frame for some rain. We're going to see light showers here possible Monday, but Tuesday, that's when we start to see more of the dominant shower activity begin to pop up here for us based off of the future tracker. Now, Saharan dust is also going to be possible here as we head in through later of next week. This is about the Wednesday, Thursday time frame is where we're going to see that start to make its way here in the Gulf, right along the Texas coastline as well for us. But right now we got to 92 degrees today, still lacking a little bit of rain. We're starting to receive some rain there around the airport, but still up for the year. Now we are expecting a little bit of rain though to continue here for 8, 9, 10 o'clock. So keeping it at 30% chance if you have any plans outside, maybe popping some fireworks. This is about what we're going to be seeing here, but cloudy conditions are for sure a yes. Now, shower activities possible here tomorrow morning. We're going to keep it lingering there for the day, as well as those cloudy conditions, as well as Port Lavaca keeping it cloudy as well. But more of that shower activity, like I mentioned, will be up towards Cuero with isolated to scattered showers and thunderstorms possible, being in the mid to upper 80s. So it'll be relatively cooler tomorrow, but there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, and that's going to linger here Monday and Tuesday. But we're going to see a bit of a ridge, and temperatures will be going up, plus the Saharan dust will come through. So it's going to be more or less feeling like actual summer here coming into Thursday and Friday. Now, don't forget to scan the QR code for more news, weather, and sports. And Aztec Ford in Goliad is giving away a free generator to help keep your lights on when it matters most. It's quick, easy to enter. Head to crossroadstoday.com, click the menu, hit entertainment, then contest, and enter the Storm Ready Power giveaway, and good luck. Shauna?
All right, well, now we send it over to Max Williams for our 4th of July sports.
That's right, Sean, because Dave Campbell's Texas high school football, they're sparking a little bit of debates here on 4th of July because they revealed their early preseason powerings for 2A, 3A, 4A, and 5A teams. We'll find out where some of our Crossroads teams land in the rankings coming up in sports. Happy 4th of July here, everyone. About 3 hours from now, we'll see all those fireworks lighting up the sky here in Victoria. And again, speaking of fireworks, though, Tuesday, we had 25 News Now sports boy Ray Robinson. He highlighted the Victoria Gators hosting a fireworks event, help raise money to get more mats and compete there in the Tejo State meet there later on in the future. So here are 2 Victoria Gators athletes talking about what this event means to them and the Gators community.
So selling the fireworks gets us money for volleyball, helping with volleyball camp, and helping provide waters and gyms. It's nice being here because we get to see friends and be with our team.
I came from a school that wasn't very helpful going through it, and going from that school to here and then all this stuff, and it just, it kind of helps out the organization, helps me out, helped me get into college to play sports. So I'll definitely be back to help them and create more athletes.
Both Tompkins and Tooele are proud proud they're doing this event here for the Victoria Gators. And again, they're going to help get some more gear and build more camps there for the future, and the Gators as a whole. Now from some 4th of July activities, beginning of football season, where Dave Campbell's Texas High School football revealed their 2025-2026 pre-scissor power rankings. We're going to start first with 2A and 3A. In 2A, you're thinking Ganato's at #1 right after winning it last year. Well, no, it's going to be Refugio. They mentioned they're #1 ranked, and they have a lot of talented receivers returning this year, but they will lose star quarterback Keelan Brown and running back Jordan King. For Ganato, they are actually #2 after becoming state champions last season. And for 2A Division II, Shiner's also at #2 as well, right behind Munster, the team they lost to in 2A Division II state championship. Then out in 3A, Edna is ranked there at #5 with new head coach Jamie Dixon. Goliad is ranked there at #15. They're going to have Lamont Franklin returning back. He's going to be a person to watch out for Goliad this season. And Yoakum is at #18 right now out there again, 3A Division I. Then in 3A Division II, Tidehaven, after winning the state 7-on-7, is ranked #2. Again, they got their quarterback Hale Russell back. And again, Bryce Sleva, who was our athlete of the week yesterday, be a threat to watch for this season. Now over to 4A and 5A for Dave Campbell's Texas football. We got 3 teams there in the 4A landscape, starting with 4A Division I. Bay City is ranked there #12. They got quarterback Alex Estrada and star wide receiver Zylan Williams returning for their senior years. Also 2 players in the state 7-on-7 that did well to keep an eye on. Jordan Johnson and James Copeland were huge for the Black Cats as well. And keep those eyes for those players because El Campo is ranked at #22. They look to play consistent because they lost their last 5 games in the season there for El Campo going in. Then in 4A Division II, Cuero Gobblers ranked there at #13. They got a lot of returners and talent. And then finally 5A, Victoria West ranked at #21. They're looking to get another 10-win season to go on. And now over to softball action, where last night Refugio Little League softball team beat Canyon Lake 3-2 as Raya Silvas went 2 for 2 there last night. Helped the All-Stars for Refugio. Again, they're going to have that rematch with Industrial Little League. That's going to be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. And if Refugio wins, there'll be another game about 30 minutes afterwards. So we'll see who wins that one in that. And now how about the Generals, right? They're looking to get back on track after that tough loss versus the Baton Rouge Rougarou there last night. That first pitch will be at 7:05 p.m. out there in Baton Rouge. And that's going to do it here in sports. Trenton and Shauna, back to you.
Thank you, Max. And we're back in a moment. First, even animals are getting into the holiday spirit. How a zoo near Chicago is treating its wildlife to a red, white, and blue celebration.
Well, animals at the Brookfield Zoo near Chicago are celebrating America's birthday. The zoo's California sea lions and gray seals were presented special 4th of July ice and sugar-free gelatin cakes.
Nice.
Sounds yummy.
Yeah.
By the looks of these adorable photos, they seemed to really enjoy them. Other animals also got red, white, and blue themed enrichment treats. That included the zoo's bottlenose dolphins, which enjoyed a floating American flag made of sugar-free gelatin.
That's so nice.
That's kind of cool.
That looks really cool.
That's so
I was going to
funny.
say, they're getting their sugar that
Yeah.
they enjoy.
Absolutely.
Jacob, we'll
For
have to make
sure,
something
from
like that
everything.
for you for your birthday.
I guess so,
Yeah,
right?
we'll throw it in the pool. You can just swim
Yeah, go
around.
do a little trick for it too.
Yeah,
Can
we'll
you
have to
do
go
a
put
flip?
together
That'd
an
be cool.
American flag.
Okay.
On a trampoline.
Oh, okay.
Good enough.
All right, a little bit of a wet holiday weekend, possibly.
Yes, still looking at some light showers right now currently. More of it is along the Texas coastline, but it is showing some dissipation there well north of us, which is a good thing, but they are looking at some possible shower activity. As for us, 30% tomorrow, 20% Sunday, then we're going to linger out, and then honestly, we're going to get back to those summer temperatures here Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So
this weekend, unfortunately, the Saharan dust didn't really do a whole
didn't
lot
do
to
too much.
dry us out.
Yeah, I did not dry us out
Unfortunate.
enough.
All right, and of course, we're keeping an eye on the Hill Country and the impacts that are up there.
Yes,
We'll definitely bring you updates on 25 News Now at 10, and keeping an eye on how that water flows down through the Guadalupe River closer to our area.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us.
We'll see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10. Until then, have a great evening.